$100 pho, and it's all right here. My name is Sonny, and it is my mission to travel throughout Vietnam, demystifying its diverse cuisine. From the Mekong Delta style cooking in the south to the rare cuisine of Vietnam's mountain people in the north. Here we have our beautiful giant rainbow snowball of sticky rice. Please, food is better when you share it. Together with One Trip Tours, I am discovering every delicious destination this country has to offer. And I'm sharing all the amazing yumminess with you guys. Today we are about to dive into a classic Vietnamese staple. And right now we are in Saigon, the home of pho, and I could not be more
Yo, Sonny.
Yeah.
You know that pho isn't from Saigon, right?
Oh, shit. Where's it from?
It's from the north.
Okay, crazy idea. Instead of going to the restaurant, could you just go to the airport directly?
Are you serious, man?
So right now, we are headed to the birthplace of pho, northern Vietnam. Let's go.
Dude, I can't just drive to the airport.
You're gonna find the best original pho. You have to literally fly to Hanoi, otherwise what are you doing with your life? Pho may be Vietnam's most internationally recognized dish, but even within Vietnam, there's an ongoing debate between those who say the more authentic northern style of pho is king, and those who think the true champion is the more beefed up southern style. Today, we'll try both and finally put this debate to rest. We'll also check out a local restaurant that's introduced a new twist to some classic Vietnamese pho staples. Fried pho. And at first, I was like, yo, where are the noodles? Right here. And finally, we'll meet the masterpiece itself, the $100 pho, created by Michelin-trained chef Peter Franklin. But first, we start off with this special foodie mission in Hanoi. What you know about traveling 700 miles like 1,100 kilometers just for a bowl of noodles? We are in Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, and we are on a foodie mission. Let's go. How was that? Right now we are standing in front of one of the longest standing pho establishments in Hanoi. This place has been here for over 70 years, making it basically a museum of soup. But what's cool about this museum is you get to eat the artifacts. Let's go. Crazy busy, massive line here. Oh my God, look at this. This is crazy. I think we picked the right spot. This restaurant is one of the longest standing pho establishments in Hanoi. For over 60 years, they've maintained their traditional pho recipe and their traditional serving style, meaning if you want a hot bowl of yum, you're gonna have to wait in line like everyone else. You've eaten here before?
I tend to come up here whenever I come to Hanoi. To me, this is kind of the quintessential Hanoian pho.
Okay.
And definitely.
Do you have the credentials to even say something like that?
I mean,
White guy. This lady here is different cuts of meats. This is the noodle bro, and then this is the broth man. And they have a couple of giant steaming cauldrons of broth. Ask anyone and they will tell you broth is the heart and soul of pho.
The broth, that's kind of like the heart and soul of pho, particularly the northern version, which they pay a lot of attention to.
The broth is generally made by simmering beef bones, charred onion, charred ginger, and spices, though ingredients vary depending on the region and vendor.
I thought 100,000. I got it.
There we go. Wow, thanks for treating me. You made me feel like a special lady.
You're only gonna find a few of the cuts here. Like you'll notice there's only 3 options on the menu here.
Today, our northern style bowl of pho will be served with a slightly thicker pho noodle, a flavor-packed bone broth, beef brisket, and rare beef that's been blanched in piping hot broth.
Slams it in the broth real quick. So it starts out raw.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna plonk it, and the broth is so hot, it's gonna cook in seconds.
Is that ours? Oh no, that's not ours. Then topped with scallions, pepper, and a light smattering of fresh herbs. Wow. This looks amazing. I'm so hungry. So is this a pretty common breakfast?
For Vietnamese people, yes.
Hold on, are you even Vietnamese? Let me ask the camera guy. Kai, is this a common breakfast?
Yes.
Okay, we have confirmation.
All of the best spots you'll find, the ones that the locals eat, the religious establishments, they're all breakfast only.
We're essentially saying this place is gonna be our symbol of the north, and then we'll find a place that'll be the symbol for the south. In the south, you get a huge basket of herbs on the table, and here they're like, we're not gonna mess around with that. We'll just put them in there for you.
Yeah.
Which I like, actually. I'm so gung-ho about like getting the food and eating it immediately. Here they've just like made it simple for you.
Much less of the, I don't know, build your own adventure than Saigon. There's not even any lime.
Oh, the meat looks absolutely delicious. So I read a lot about pho in the north, and I thought there would be less meat. There's a lot of meats, and the noodles are flat, but not super wide or anything like that.
There's a lot of things that people will say, well, look, that's quintessentially Hanoi, this is quintessentially Saigonese pho, but there's definitely overlap.
There's no way that we don't piss off somebody in this video. So we're gonna take a bite at the same time, because I learned that that's what you're supposed to do, so that people can see two different yummy faces at the same time. I got a nice helping of both cuts of meat here. Let's do it. That's really good.
Yeah.
The stock, instead of being really sweet, it's really beefy.
Yeah.
It's super beefy.
There's way less sweetness to it. It's very noticeable.
One of the things that distinguishes Southern pho is the sweetness.
And we just have less herbs going on. So, you know, we don't have all that basil adding in flavor and the soy leaf. This is just more of a, you know, one direction. It's a concentrated thing.
Actually, I really like the meaty flavor.
Yeah.
Oh. I find this really fascinating, and I'm happy because I didn't think it would be such a variation. There's a lot less salt, but there's still plenty of flavor.
It's almost like a completely different dish though. It really is night and day.
You know, I thought I could come out of this easily saying, okay, north is better or south is better, but they just feel a lot different. I kind of like the non-sweeter broth. It's really meaty, it's beefy, there's a lot of fat in this broth. I might be leaning towards north.
Oh man, don't do it.
Are you south?
I think I am. I think I'm a south guy.
A little bit of meat, a little bit of nudes. That was tremendous. Now that we've had pho in the north, we're gonna fly to Saigon to figure out what pho in the south is all about. The pho that many Westerners have come to know and love is actually beef pho, known as pho bo. But really, the word pho just refers to the white rice noodle. In fact, pho has many incarnations throughout Vietnam. Northwestern Vietnam's Lao Cai province is home to the red noodle pho, getting its color from the special rice used in its creation. From here, I can see it looks like the traditional pho noodle, but it's kind of pink or red. There's a big black sausage here. Let's try it with that. Yeah, buddy, look at this. This is probably the most unique pho I've ever seen. It is mountain pho. It has the red noodle. It's a little bit more of a pink noodle, but you know what? We can call it red, and we're gonna mix that up a bit. So nice. So let's get a bite with the sausage and the nudes together. Oh yeah, buddy. That is, hands down, one of the best bowls of noodles I've ever tried. The broth is so rich. I mean, it's just like the typical pho noodle, super soft. And then the sausage is just outstanding. When you put it all together, it's dynamite. Pho can be fried or it could even be rolled. And not just with beef either. Chicken pho is hugely popular in the north. In Hanoi, you can even get a dry noodle chicken pho with no broth. I thought pho had to have a broth. It doesn't have to have broth?
This one does not have broth. It would be on a separate bowl.
That's what I like about dry noodle. They're like, look, we're not gonna leave you hanging. Here's a side bowl of some broth. But instead of beef, they've got chicken. I'm gonna figure this out in my mouth. That's how I deal with confusing situations, okay? I chew on it.
Sounds good.
To learn more about this dynamic dish, I headed to Ong Ong in Saigon to talk to head chef and founder, Peter Franklin. Ong Ong has a modern take on classic Vietnamese dishes, and later today, we'll get Peter's take on his $100 pho. The debate rages on between Northern pho and Southern pho. Which is the most authentic between these two, and what are the differences? So today, I've come to Ong Ong to interview Peter, the founder and head chef of this restaurant. Peter,
Hi,
what do
Sonny.
you think distinguishes Northern pho from Southern pho?
The northern, which is more influenced by Chinese cooking, so it's more subtle, more delicate. A lot of things are still being made by hand. You will find pho being cooked by charcoal. The pho noodle is still made by hand, cut by hand. Whereas in the south now, it's a bit more modernized, and they tend to put everything in. Whatever ingredient they have, they will dump it in. So it's bigger, more colorful, more flavor, and so they're completely different products to me. Pho, this new style, we're doing it with a cocktail. So what better way to do that with fajito?
A fajito.
So we're taking a mojito, classic mojito.
And you're pouring in soup broth.
So instead of soup broth, we got alcohol.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Ang Ang's fajito draws inspiration from the classic mojito, but instead of using mint, they're infusing flavor with several herbs and spices you'd expect to see around any good Southern pho creation.
Cinnamon, star anise, salted coriander, and the Asian basil. Kind of like basically making a broth. Instead of using the pho broth, we're using alcohol.
As it turns out, my favorite type of broth is actually alcohol, so I couldn't wait to try his new creation. Is that a chili pepper?
We haven't opened this one up.
Am I too pale?
We don't want to really shock you, but
okay.
So usually you.
All right, let's try it out.
Okay.
Oh. That is nice. Dang, it does capture that essence somehow.
Yeah.
And it's through the taste and through the smell, because I can smell like the cinnamon.
You don't have to taste pho. Sometimes when you just walk around the area where they're making pho, you can smell the beef combined with the cinnamon, the spice, the fish sauce, and all the herbs. So you just kind of follow your nose and you know where the pho shop is going to be.
From there, I followed my nose to the rooftop where a couple Ang dishes were waiting for me. This video is all about the complete Vietnamese pho experience, and Peter has treated me to this special meal, and what's so great about it is the camera guy asked me who else is joining me for this scene. This is all for me. Here, a pho taco. Who knew? Over here, we have the pho sao. It is fried pho. And at first, I was like, yo, where are the noodles? Right here. They've actually taken the sheet of steamed rice cake, put 2 layers together and fried it. They fuse together and become crispy like this. That looks amazing. We've got piles of beef, herbs. We've got bean sprouts. We have some bell pepper. I'm gonna put some of the lime on top this time. Second camera, this is a big moment for you. Is he nailing it? Is he nailing it? Oh God, it's a lot of pressure. Second camera right there. Oh, he's got it. He's nailing it. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're making a show. So we have applied the lime, the star of the dish right here. Mmm. Oh, listen to this crunch. Can you hear it? Shut up! We're doing a crunch test. Ah, see? Really crunchy. Anyways, Peter, a few seconds, please. Sorry, I told Peter he couldn't be up here while I was eating so that I could give an honest review. It's really just because I'm an idiot. Okay, it is crunchy, but it has some kind of mushiness to it too, almost like a piece of fried bread would have. And we're gonna mix that with some meat, some different types of plant matter, and let's try it all together. Wow. Most people might say that you could not call this pho, and I disagree. So that's a pretty bold statement. Let's see if anyone's brave enough to comment in the comments about that bold statement. To me, this is also pho. I love the blend, not only flavors, but the textures too. Really rich meat, crunchy fried rice cake, tons of fresh herbs in there. It's always awesome to try the different fusion discoveries Peter comes up with here, but we are back in Saigon for a reason, and that is to discover what is the quintessential pho of the South. Let's go do that right now. And stop, you can stop shooting now. Can you? Why are you still shooting? We're doing a food adventure. This isn't fun anymore. We make fun food videos, Kai. Right now, we are back in Saigon, headed to an amazing pho restaurant where they have been killing it for over 50 years. And my dude, Andrew, how did you find this place?
It's right down the road from my house, bro.
Oh, it's by where you live. One of the best ways to find the best pho restaurant in your city is to start by your house. Pho Ngao is famous among locals for serving what they call their endless beef bowl, piled high with succulent cuts. Right here, this is not really a building. This is an alleyway that has been kind of commandeered. They've turned it into a restaurant, essentially. They've put tarps on the top.
This is the cool thing about Saigon street food. You can just commandeer an alleyway. You see the people roll out of their houses, and they're literally 5 meters from the table.
No. People are driving through the restaurant to get to their house. It's brilliant.
This is the fattier cut, they call it nam. It's an offcut and they make it completely delicious. It's not tough at all, it's completely flaky. This one is the tendon.
When we were in Hanoi, they didn't have the beef tendon. It is so good, it like melts in your mouth.
This is the classic. This is the nam, which is the raw meat. They'll cook as soon as we put it in the broth because it's just gonna be so hot.
Oh, look at this.
It's just the fat. Much fattier and much sweeter down here.
They're just gonna put fat?
Yeah, just straight rendered fat.
Love it. Here they've got tables. You just sit down, you order from the table. So that's what we're gonna do right now.
We even have tablecloths.
And we even have tablecloths. This place, it might be outside, it might be in an alley, but that doesn't mean it's not fancy as fuck. Today, our pho will start out with some blanched pho noodles. Top that with white and green onions, then some cuts of brisket, tendon, and cartilage, followed by freshly blanched rare beef and a splash of rendered beef fat and a little pepper, and whammo, you are ready to take a ride down to Flavor City. Let's just do a quick table tour because we have some differences in the south from the north. We've got the bean sprouts here. They did not have that in the north. We have a bowl of limes. And the biggest thing is they've got a giant basket of herbs. And what herbs are in here, Andrew?
Saw leaf, we've got basil, we've got whatever the hell this thing is. I'm always really disappointed when I don't get my giant heaping bowl of herbs.
And I am not disappointed. I actually like that in the north, the bowl comes ready to eat and there's no more assembly required. All right, so let's jump into it. Start by putting in some bean sprouts. We'll put in a squeeze of lime.
And then pick off your basil leaves and a saw leaf. Let's do some weird one today.
You don't know what the weird one is though?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hey, producer Eleanor.
Right now, Andrew's asking someone off camera what herb this is. I thought he was a professional Vietnam expert, and right now, it's like he doesn't even know what it is.
Right.
Oh, did you figure out what it is?
This is rau and we have no idea what it is.
All right, so let's put some of that in our soup. We're gonna mix it up. This looks absolutely delicious. Fat, slick on the top, like any good oil spill in the Atlantic Ocean. It's just like that, like little rainbows forming on the broth. And that is the tendon right there. Big, juicy, white, kind of translucent. Yeah, it's chewy. It kind of melts in your mouth a little bit. Great texture, big bite. I got that fatty beef in there. Let's go for it. Mmm. Oh, it's so good. And to me, some white guy from central Minnesota, you know, local Asia/pho expert here. To me, the most important thing in this concoction is the broth.
There's way more going on. It's far sweeter, especially here actually.
Yeah.
In the north, which is just more of a straight beef stock, just in general, is far more complexity in here.
Nice big bite right here. The bean sprouts are nice because it's already kind of this like carb overload of just tons of noodles. So to break it up with some texture, a little bit of that veg is nice. As much as I like Southern pho, it's a little sweet for me. If I'm getting very picky, I would say the Northern is better.
Huh. I mean, man, I don't know what it is. I would completely disagree. I don't even think it's that subjective.
What the fuck? This is my show. What? You disagree? Hold on, get back to it. What? Why do you disagree?
I mean, I don't think it's that subjective. I think this.
Hold on, you say it's not subjective. Like I can't have that. This is like you think this is objectively better.
Right. This is like the math of food. Like we could just calculate this down.
What about the fact that this is where it was created? Like the origin. Do you look at pizza that eventually like has pineapple and ham on it, and you're like, that's just better. It's the evolution.
Southern pho has evolved into this great creation, this symbol of Vietnamese food, and it's just better.
I want to know what you guys think in the comments. What kind of pho do you think is the best between Northern or Southern pho? And right now, we're gonna head to Ang Ang for a clickbait moment of redemption. You saw the thumbnail, $100 pho. How is it possible? That is what you're wondering. That's what I'm wondering too. We are back at Ang Ang. I am with Peter, once again, head chef and founder of this restaurant for the $100 pho. And last time I came here, I asked for the $100 banh mi. I had this little challenge. Some might call it brilliant. 17 people said it was stupid. But you killed it. You scaled up the banh mi to heights that no one had ever seen before. Oh, baby. This is ridiculous. What is the thought process and the philosophy going into this?
We start with asking two basic questions. First, what is pho? Two, how do we make the best bowl of pho possible? Since people take this dish so seriously, we want to do this with kind of respect for the tradition of the dish and still maintain the heart and soul of the dish as we're making changes, trying to reinvent the dish. We start with the broth first. That's the most important. That's kind of like the heart and soul of pho.
Step 1, the broth. Peter cooked his bone broth the day before for 12 hours. Today he'll make a consommé broth, adding flavor and removing impurities at the same time.
You're adding fresh raw beef, egg white, and then onion, ginger, just to add more of the aromatic flavor. So you're doing two things. One, you're clarifying the stock, and you're also intensifying the flavor.
For people watching, what is the benefit of doing doing a consommé over just the normal broth?
The consommé essentially is going to amp it up to the next level.
Okay.
In terms of concentration of flavor and clarity of flavor. You can see how clean that is. It's like tea. Beautiful golden color. This is
amazing.
A classic consommé broth.
I can't wait to put that in my mouth. Once the broth has been strained twice, we're ready for step 2.
Can ignore the meat. Normally you have 2 kinds, rare beef and cooked beef. Normally brisket. What we've done is we kind of amped up the experience a little bit. So we have 7 kinds of beef.
All right.
Okay.
Peter's 7 lucky cuts include beef balls, thinly sliced beef tendon, beef tongue.
Beef tongue, pretty nasty when it comes to us, but after cooking for about 4 or 5 hours and cleaning and then slicing it, it comes out to, it's a beautiful product.
It looks great.
Yeah,
You would never
beautiful.
think that was tongue.
Yep.
Beef brisket and beef shin.
The shin is beautiful because it has very different texture from all the other cuts.
Yeah.
And then for a little bonus, you get a little marrow inside here when we put it inside the broth.
Then rare black Angus ribeye that's been spanked with ginger and pepper. Finally, torched beef belly to add more smoky flavor to the broth. And there's something mysterious about using a torch, and it makes people feel better about whatever they're paying for their meal that night. Step 3, noodles.
The third component of the pho, the noodle. Hanoi style bánh pho is the best. Often still hand-cut, handmade. It has this beautiful velvety texture that it soaks up the broth better.
The time has finally arrived. Peter has prepared 2 stone bowls. First, he adds the broth. Then each of the meats except our rare Angus, which will cook later in the broth. The noodles will be served on the side so they don't become mushy. We'll have a tender poached egg in broth topped with black truffle paste. And lastly, a tray of herbs, sauce, and more black truffle paste. The time has come for $100 pho. $100 pho, and it's all right here. That's gonna be like that clickbait in the beginning.
Yeah.
We both decided that pho around Vietnam is amazing, and so we wanted to try this, something new. And look, this is nothing against what we tried already.
Yeah.
Whether it was northern or southern pho, they were both absolutely delicious and amazing experiences, immersive experiences that really made you feel the energy of Vietnam all around you. But we just wanted to try something new here. And Peter has outdone himself with the $100 pho. We've been talking long enough. Let's
do this,
dig
dude.
into it.
The heart.
The heart. The true essence. The consommé broth. Let's try it out. It's super hot, dude. Oh. That is packed with flavor.
That is crazy.
It's got a clean, beefy taste. It's like super beefy, but without being overly fatty. But it still has a lot of that essence there.
That's true,
There's
yeah.
still the cinnamon flavor, the star anise. Oh, and it is blazing hot in this stone bowl. Oh my gosh. Have you ever seen a chunk of meat that big?
Do we need a knife?
No, you just use your teeth. Camera 2, you're good. You got a nice beef shot. Camera 1, good? Yeah. Okay, so here, this is the beef belly. Let's give it a try. You ready?
Let's do this. Oh my god. It has the fattiness to it that you usually do get in the pho. Like it's a fattier cut.
Yeah.
But it's just a heavier taste in general. Load it up. This is my kind of pho.
The people who,
Right.
go, oh, there's too many things in your soup. It's like there's too much meat in your soup. Huh? Oh, this
pick it
is
up.
shin.
Dude, look at my shin.
Look at his shin.
Oh, bro. Look at that. Whoa.
Oh my god, dude. You got a giant piece of bone marrow right here. Sorry.
Right.
Anyways, look, the liquid is super hot. It's gonna burn off any germs. It burned my tongue already, so I don't get why he got such a big shin, but whatever, it's cool. All right, let's do it. Shin time.
That just fell apart.
Falling apart. Falling apart.
That was ridiculous.
I'm falling apart. We've got the tendon. He has it cut super thin.
Yeah. Man.
It has all that essence of the fat, but it's still got some firmness to it. This stands out over here. We've got the raw Angus beef. He said you kind of just put the beef in the broth, the hot broth, and do a little shabu shabu hot pot action until it's cooked. And look at that, it's already turned brown. This broth is nothing to F with. It is crazy hot. The ginger and the pepper on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've never had it quite like that.
Should we try putting some nudes in, or do you want to do the poached egg? What's poaching? You poach eggs, but do not poach like an elephant, for example, right? You can take a quick, close look at camera 2. You can see black truffle paste, okay? The nectar of the super rich. Oh, this is just a one slurper.
God.
Whoa.
Truffle is heavy. Oh wow. Especially that broth.
Black truffle makes everything better. It has a slightly kind of astringent quality to it. It's a pure meat feast right now. Let's add in some of these noodles. Oh, look at these. I thought they would be all clumped together. These are beautiful
No,
noodles.
they're fluffy as hell, yeah.
We're gonna dump that in here. Let it soak up a bit of the broth. Oh, I'll have what she's having. Those noodles are fantastic. Way more firm, but I'm a fan of a more al dente kind of firm noodle. It's amazing to try all the meat alone, but obviously it's a lot better balance with the pho noodle in there.
It's still not really pho without the noodle, right?
Yeah. Oh, dude. And so look at this. You can see it here. That's what he's talking about with machine-made versus handmade. And handmade has imperfections.
Right.
Okay, but they're the kind of imperfections you want.
Yeah.
Like my face, for example. Look at these hot imperfections. Oh my God, I think I just found the best possible bite. The flame-torched pork belly with some steaming noodles.
I think it's beef belly.
It might be beef belly. What did I say, pork?
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant the other animal, the beef one. Oh, smoky flavor. And that smokiness kind of blended into the broth as well. He said, try mixing in this black truffle paste.
You're gonna load all that up?
I don't know, I guess. Throw in some of these herbs, basil, nice bean sprouts, onion, and mix that all together. I'm gonna try another spoonful of that broth. Oh, right there. Truffle just always feels elegant. So no matter what, I feel like it must be doing something good. Not really a practical breakfast, okay? As far as just a whole experience for dinner and just variety and fun with friends, 100%, 10 out of 10, love it. I wanna say thank you to Peter and Ang so much for making this happen and creating this extravagant, beautiful display with just insane flavors and just something fun and unique to try out. Hopefully, you know, we roast the internet with this one, son. Thank you to One Trip for making all this traveling possible. One Trip is a company putting on tours in Saigon, Hoi An, and Da Nang. I'm talking food tours in Saigon, adventure tours, Gucci Tunnel Tour, the Mekong Delta. It's really the best way to experience the real Vietnam. For more information on One Trip, check out the info box down below. I will see you guys next time. Peace.